possibly some family issues. So his son drove by and fired shots at the house, hitting Mr. Sanchez in the hand.
Court is calling 2024 CR 3592, State of Texas versus Ramon Sanchez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, gentlemen.
For the defense?
Brian Kimbrough for Mr. Sanchez.
And you are Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea of guilty on August 12th, and this was recalled for August 27th. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There are no applications. The state is taking in consideration 2024 CR 2931. Both parties agreed not to have a PSI. It was reset so that defense could have witnesses present if they wanted to have witnesses present, and for the state to tender to the court for review Mr. Sanchez's criminal history. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, argument, Your Honor. Oh, my client, other than my client, no.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Ramon Sanchez, Jr.
All right, make sure you keep your voice up so that I can hear you and the court reporter can hear you.
All right.
Could I introduce the case a little bit, Your Honor?
Yes.
This, first of all, I want the court to understand that I'm not in any way meaning my remarks to suggest that Mr. Sanchez doesn't accept his responsibility 100% in this case. But there are some aspects that are a little unique, and I wanted to make sure the court understood that. I think they're mitigating. Okay, the main thing is that Mr. Sanchez was at home on the night of this incident. I think he was on his driveway listening to music. He was going through a problem with his wife, a divorce, possibly some family issues. So his son drove by and fired shots at the house, hitting Mr. Sanchez in the hand. He actually, I believe, fired a whole clip, but he hit Mr. Sanchez. He's the only one that got injured. His wife called the police. So the police came to the scene and investigated. Now, in the course of that investigation, now Mr. Sanchez does not have good impulse control. He got very upset, not at the police, but at his son, essentially, and the whole situation. Number two, he was not taking the medication that he should have been. Of course, that's a common problem.
The case kicks off with a shocking twist. The shooting victim is now sitting in court as the defendant. Let that sink in. Imagine being shot, only to end up the one.
We all know that. But it just sort of added fuel to the fire of his emotional problem. But he did not, he was not attacking the police. He was extremely upset. And I've looked at the video, and I can assure you that he lost control of his emotions. And so he got into essentially a verbal argument with the police over some trivial thing, which then led to a confrontation, which then led to him being detained and handcuffed, at which point he got upset and did not cooperate, as he should have. And an officer suffered a broken little finger as a result. And he understands that it was his doing that caused that. But it was a situation where he wasn't a defendant, you know, in a case that was being investigated. He wasn't being arrested. He was actually a victim of a shooting. And it was that situation that created this case. Now, he has a bad record, no question about it. I mean, he's not applying for probation. I'm just suggesting to the court that a more just or fair sentence, given the circumstances, would be, say, 3 years as opposed to 5. Now, I know Mr. Sanchez would like to address the court himself. Could I call him here?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you've stated your name for the record. If you could restate it again,
Yeah,
please.
my name is Ramon Sanchez.
All right, defense, you may ask your questions.
Thank you. Ramon, is there anything you'd like the judge to know about what happened that day or that evening?
I mean nothing, no bad towards the cops or anything. It's just I was emotionally going through a divorce at the time.
Mhm.
You know, due to my drug abuse, I stay at my mom's house because I was a provider for dialysis. And
What kind of medication were you on at the time?
I take Naprexa, Lexapro, and Depakote, 750, 500 milligrams. I'm diagnosed with bipolar PTSD, and
Notice how the defense is framing Sanchez, not as a criminal, but as a victim of circumstance. It's a classic courtroom strategy, shifting the spotlight from intent to emotional state. But here,
Schizophrenia.
schizophrenia. And now that I've been on my medication, I haven't been in trouble. I've been at the county almost 10 months.
Now, at the time, you were on different medication
Yes, I was.
and you weren't taking it
No, I was abusing alcohol.
and abusing alcohol.
Yes.
Okay.
But I would ask the court to see if I could have some kind of help, mental help.
No. So in sum, Your Honor, we're asking the court to take those aspects of the case into consideration in forming a sentence.
all right, any questions?
Mr. Sanchez, which hand were you shot?
My right hand.
And why were you not taking the medications that were prescribed to
Because
you?
I
at the
was
time?
drinking at the time, sir.
So you were able to access those medications, correct?
Yes,
But you chose not to take
I
them,
chose not to.
and you chose to consume alcohol instead.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Could be worse. I had CPS took my kids away from me. I couldn't see them until I needed to join a program, and I decided not to leave the drugs and alcohol, because I had UA stuff like that. But now I've been on my medication 10 months. I could think better, and I know what I want for myself, for my kids, and be there for the last years of my life.
Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, why was your son shooting at you?
He was upset. So I had got in an argument with him and told him that I didn't want him around my mom's house if he was going to come asking for money.
All right, I still don't understand how that translates into guns being pulled.
Well, he suffers from his bipolar himself,
So what happened with his case?
It was dismissed. They never followed up with it.
So you're saying he shot at you and the case was dismissed?
Yeah. Well, they never made a case out of it.
And how did this translate to an assault on an officer for you?
Well, at the time when they came, they asked me what was going on. I told them that I was okay. And they still wanted to see my hand.